I think I'm ready to go. Hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It's a beautiful day at the Row. A great time to learn something. Make sure all my supporting cast is here. My support group. Got to give a shout out to those who've been really looking out for the Row this whole time through this whole experience. Been here a minute. A lot of people come through here. A lot of people come and go. But shout out to the people who believe in the program, believe in the knowledge and wisdom that they learn in here and know where Kev get it from. That's all I can ask is that you appreciate the knowledge. You know, mentally we attaining heights our community ain't never seen before. And just be honest. Before before Kev Gills got here, press one. And before Kev Gills got here, we was listening to all type of shit. Hit that like button. We was listening to all type of shit, right? Let's be honest. We was listening to Billy Carson. They was listening to the red pills. That's okay. That's okay. In our journey of evolution, listen to me now, Josh. In our journey of evolution, it's gonna be people who was the the brightest stars of the time had the most knowledge because us as the people, we start coming into knowledge. We start gravitating towards different things, and not to say that anybody's wrong in a world of confusion, but you know, at some given time, new people come, new knowledge, new wisdom. It be the same people you teach, be the same ones that that go off and do better things. Press one. And I'm quoting Jesus and John when I say things like that. So shout out to the people who here to learn and experience the different laws and language and theories and storylines and conspiracies and just freedom of expression here at KevRow University. I got to give a shout out to the audience, to my classroom, and the people who really appreciate these programs as we were demonetized in this learning experience of how to communicate these things righteously. And even though artificial intelligence, YouTube got their ways of doing things, where there's a will, there's a way. You know what I'm saying? And we all live and we learn and adjust. To those who get frustrated and fall and quit, they just fall and quit. Adjustments are made by those who are smart enough to make them. You feel me? Trials and errors, then come experience, knowledge, and what comes after that, You know, experience is what you need. So why not go through the fire so you can gain the experiences and different awarenesses and not be afraid to jump here at the row. Yeah, you're going to fall and hit your face and get the teacher's attention, but be like Tyron Crockett. Just know it's a simulation. And you can get right back up and try again. Don't be like a troll and get your feelings hurt and get all crazy and acting like this ain't something you can turn off or turn the channel. You don't like my style of teaching this? Then chill out. Do more. If you can't have a good time, study, learn, grow, fuck around, then this ain't for you because everybody be here. Not just me and not just you. It's a lot of different personalities. KevRow University is full of different people, and you gotta respect it. Gotta respect it. A lot of different people support this program for different reasons. You gotta respect it. If y'all in y'all feelings, God bless you. Come out of your feelings. So we've been learning about the law of nations And I mean, when I say learning about it, I mean really just glossing over it, not really going into too far depth to where we get lost in the subject matter and begin to figure it all out and go through that. No, we're just breezing over the pages of history, given the imagination of our timeline that's right here, you know. And what is it all for? It's about merging all of these ideas into a proper perspective for some type of legal argument for freedom that we're all trying to attain. Press what? Let's just be honest about it. I'm doing this for the collective to come up and defeat this artificial program running, right? So, in order to do that, Mister, I want to be free and all that, and bear the responsibility of what it costs to be a free person, and not depend on an external soulless being to give you something. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Shout out to the truth tellers out there in the world, if I haven't said that already. But today, we're going to do something. We're going to take it a step further, because I think a lot of my students are ready to just gloss over another legal form perspective. And this one here is great. It's right for you for the right time. Press one. It's the right subject for the right time. You know why? Because we've been studying the timelines of events, just glossing over it, seeing the falsehoods of history, trying to identify what's real and what's not. I mean, Taj is just went down the rabbit hole. He got a string tied. We got to pull him up every now and then. Press one. He just dove into the rabbit hole head first, like an Olympic swimmer, a diver. He just went. He gone. He got it too. Yeah, he got the info that's gonna do great in history class, bruh. For all of y'all who don't get the historical basis of the falsehoods correctly, Taj is gonna be there to help you the fuck out. He's gonna help you. Hey Taj, we gotta pull you up. Hey, I said, Taj, tell me about it. He can tell you everything there is to know about the shrimping business. Press one. Just right where he need to be. Crazy with it. Right here. You feel me? He need to be fucking insane. Fucking judo master with history. When I call Taj's name for the biblical charge and tell him to lay this fucking history down and who is who, he gonna hit their ass with all the Stephans. Press one. All the propagandas. He gonna have that shit laced like this. Mm-hmm. Say it too. Say it too. If you notice, Said took a step back. People get dangerous when they take a step back. Said say, I don't want to dive in like that. That shit right there drive you crazy. He said, I want to dive in over here. So Said dives into the quantum world head first. Press one. There. Said dives in head first. He said, what the fuck? We been studying Princeps and all of this shit over here this whole time. Taj, catch up. This nigga went and started diving over in quantum. Been like, Kev. What I like about Said, because Said just have epiphanies out of no fucking where. Yo, Kev, what you think about this right there? Press one. Said sends me the greatest piece of information regarding what we've been discussing this whole time. See, when your ass is in an algorithm, everything I talk about is going to hit your computer. Now, if you playing games, you're going to see Kev and you're going to see DJ Academics, and then you're going to see all the rest of the bullshit that you watch in your algorithm. But some of us are studying so hard what Kev is talking about, they pulling things back from 15 years ago. The algorithm is shitting up buried treasure. Just like that. So you got to commend those people of the past who bring different perspectives and stuff like that. One of those people, we're actually, since we're on the quantum world and understanding legal jargon just a tad, just a little bit, and the law of nations and getting a perspective, getting a better perspective on quantum physics, the 2D versus the 3D, what's on paper than what you really living, and stuff like that. In a real urban way, though. That's why I like this class, because we put this shit in an urban way that regular people who will be normally like, man, fuck that. We got them eager to smoke a blunt and drink some coffee right here on Coffee and Cushion the Boy. KevRow University, we talk the most insane. We have the most insane conversations. Let me see. The best think tank on earth right here. That's what it's about. It's about the collective coming together and boom. So I asked people if they want to place a call in between time. That's cool. Not now. In between. Right now, I can read it through the chat. If you got a question or something like that, I can read it in the chat. I ain't tripping like that. Because at this point, at this level, and at the U, I can read it right there. If you got something good to say, I'll see it. God wins. Yes, the best shrimp boat. He know everything about the shrimp boat business. Shrimp kebab, all that. He knows that. I fucked him up with that quantum physics. Now he got to restart. He got to take that same energy and go ahead first and keep that same energy. But I don't want him to do that. I want him to stay focused right there in history and learn as much. The rest of this is just a different perspective of legal language, scientific legal language. So it'll take some time for the mind, just like everybody else's, to adapt to it. The historical find that you be having, it's gonna take your mind some time to grasp, that quantum shit, and understanding it, not just at the quantum level. Now I'm talking at a quantum, in a quantum language. You should be able to begin to understand the language too. If we knew language was this simple, and science and all of this, because it is, you would be better equipped to fight your enemy instead of thinking like Ben Carson, press one, and these people who want us to think in a dream world of Nephilim, gods of Inky coming back from Egypt, from the Star series. Rest of all, we ain't getting caught up in the magical Catholic stories of their false senses of what true Christianity is. We ain't getting caught up in these different allegorical precepts of nothing that leads back to a big question mark of, I'm just going to leave this shit alone and go back to bed and go back to work. Because this shit confusing. We actually trying to make sense of it. Shout out to Bocat. And sometimes you just got to smoke a blunt and chill out and stop all the hypertension and hyperactivity. Have to be right. In this complex quantum world in which they say they live, is so many possibilities of what right is. And there's so many distortion of the past. Shit, during the constant, who's to say who's right? Press one, we just found out it has to be a continuous constant. So yeah, with that type of theory, the universe is always expanding and history is always getting so far away from us. Press one. I know that we can beat them in their theory and our theories. Press one. That's how bright we are. That's how bright people in my class are. They can beat that theory and that theory. Formulate their own time frame, thus creating the back to the future experience mentally. First, Everything is done here first. So if this had already been done, then we ain't doing nothing but figuring out what was lost. Press 1. And if it's dealing in time, it's dealing in time. Hit the like button and subscribe. I take what I do that serious. That serious, nigga. We dealing with Todd. Right, Todd? Say this was Back to the Future. And this nigga Kev is actually piecing back the puzzles to his invention or some other shit. Press 1. But we don't be thinking about that because we be too caught up in somebody else's programmed time of event, let alone our own breakdown of time. What is my fascination with the quantum world just to end back up in time? But time be so important to time travel, if it's a possibility. But that's a later story for one of our night shows when we just have our random conversations. Make sure y'all don't let me forget that. You feel me? That's different. That's different, G. We different over here. Right now, I want us to focus on the quantum language, getting used. I had just said getting used to listening to the words that are used. You like Neo. Your enemy may not have to. You may not have to fight your enemy all like with this master for kung fu. Be able to back up those statements in a second. God wins. I'm not here to play with y'all any longer. Press 1. Please. Thank you. To me, yeah, real easy. Good. Because you get a chance to prove it today. That's right. You get a chance to explain it. All this extra chatter. Press 1. All it is. Matter of fact, I'm going to open up the phone lines right now before you say you at work. Press 1. TJ. They do all this talking. Since for you, it should be easy to explain. I'm ready. I'm ready for your quantum theory. And this is what's dope is that one right there, God wins, is going to be my first test subject, right? Said. I say me. I'm explaining it here. They think they can just type and then say, oh, that's easy to say. Look at this one. No. Come up to the forefront. 30 seconds. All right, I'm ready. All right, I'm ready. I had to do something really fast. 424-209-9506. I'm ready to hear this out clearly. I want to hear this. I want to hear exactly. I want to hear what's on people's minds, especially my students. My students. Is that possible? 424-209-9506. So just getting back on subject of the quantum theory, and this deja vu, because I wanna be able to listen to some people. They've been talking a long time with every subject we talk about, and I just wanna. Everybody needs. I know this person can't know everything about everything all the time and don't call it in. Press 1. So I'm trying to understand. 424-209-95. Let's see what you understand and your theory of time and how you gonna explain it. I can't wait. Press 1. Oh, here it is right here. I got it. I got it. Hit that like button. Oh, here it is right here. I got it. I got it. Yeah. Hit that like button. Oh, here it is right here. I got it. See? That easy. I got it. Yeah. Hit that like. That's it right there. That's it. So I can take your call and see exactly your explanation of it. I wouldn't mind. Why they always stall out when I call them to the front? Press 1. Why do they do that to me? They stall out. They get to running. They, hey, Kev, and this one and that one. But they run soon as I start engagement with them. And they do this to get my attention. And then when I say, hey, what's up? They run away. And I'm trying to see why. I'm trying to see what the issue is real quick before I start my program. I want to see what it is. Please. Do I got to say please? Damn. I'll love to. Like, come on now. Because if not, you just wasting my time on my show. Help me understand. You just want to come over here and type and be right? What you want to do? Because I want my students to be engaging, especially the men. They are the people who got to understand the metaphysical, right? The science behind it, but they're also biblically got to understand the law. So now that I'm fully awake, what is it? You're not going to just press 1 and God wins. I'm going to call on you. I've been saying that since the beginning of school. And guess what today is? It's your day. Listen, there is no more non-chilling and all that. Hey, Kev, what's up, man? Promise, man, we going to do it this time. No, we're not. I got coffee and kush late night with the row. I got other shit in the works. Press 1. So I gotta make sure my classroom is running the way it's supposed to be running. So if you're not gonna be a part of my classroom, you in the wrong class. Coffee and Kush TV, you on the air? What up? Yo.
Yeah, you still a bitch. Don't ever forget that. Right? When you wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror, you still a bitch.
All right, I'm just waiting about. I'm just waiting on the callers to call in so I can get to teach it.
All right, but you're a bitch. Don't ever forget that, man. All right.
Word up, son.
Don't you ever forget that. Word up, all right?
Word up, son.
Word up, bitch ass nigga.
All right, for sure.
Don't you ever forget that, bitch ass nigga.
Anybody else?
My bitch.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna make sure I remember.
All right, bitch ass nigga.
I'm gonna remember that.
Don't ever forget that.
Next, you see that God wins when you don't take part in the show and you want my attention. Look what you cause the attention seekers. Press 1. Niggas who thrive the bottom of the barrel. That's what make KevRow University different. Is because we don't think like that. You know, We don't give that no energy. We don't even want that to conjure up over here. There's too many blessed people over here. God wins. So when you don't adhere to your quantum contract that you have here at the row, which is your word of participation, when thee is called upon, press one. Then hit that like button and subscribe. I tried to call you, bro. All right, cool. Call in right now. See, you tried to call in. That's okay. Just call in. You don't got to get in the chat room and say I tried to call in. Just call in. You see who I just had. You see I just had. So come on and break this quantum theory down, bruh. We going to New York again.
Always, man.
Coffee and Kush TV, KevRow University. You in front of the class. Go ahead.
What's going on, man? Like I said, I don't know who you was talking to, but that definitely wasn't me, man. But yeah, bro. As far as what I was talking about in your chat, when I mentioned deja vu,
Hold up,
I
hold up.
was
Wait, you
speaking of
said what? You don't know who I was just talking to?
yeah, because that wasn't me, but
I didn't
I don't
say
know who
I
that
didn't say
dude
it
was.
was you. Yeah, so back to the
Say that
quantum.
again.
I didn't say that was you. So back to the quantum theory.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
Yeah, as far as quantum theory, I'm all ears. I'm listening to you, bro. But what I was saying, as far as like deja vu in the chat, I feel for me that's also a form of like time travel. I know it's different what we talking about as far as the topic, but yeah, because I've had it before, man. And
You had what?
personally, I've had moments where what they call deja vu, where you can, I guess, see into the future or travel. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I was talking
You
about.
said you could see into the future?
Where I've had moments where, all right, they call it, I guess, out of body experiences, I guess. But I've had dreams, man, where it actually
Wait a minute.
happened
Wait a minute.
verbatim.
Wait. Are you saying outer body experience? Are you saying dream? Or are you saying time
For
travel?
me, it was a dream for me. You get what
So
I'm
you
saying? But
so
what they
you drew
described
so
was,
you had a dream.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Where
So
I
tell
saw
me
something that happened
okay.
in my dream, and it happened exactly like that. Like a week later or a month later, you get what I'm saying? So I feel like that's also where you may from your quantum computer because I feel like we are quantum computers just walking this earth and we haven't tapped into that part of our
Before
machines yet.
before you before you go into you believe we are all quantum computers, explain your theory, sir.
I am. I'm talking about it. If you hear me
Okay,
out, like I
okay. So
said,
now
I've
wait
had
one
moments
second. Now I'm
where
gonna
I've
go to the
seen some
classroom.
things in
Hold
my
on, hold
mind
on.
from my dreams because your dream is still your brain working. That's your computer working. You feel me? So when I've seen these things happen in my dream, I remember it, and then I go on with my life just thinking it's a dream, but the event actually happens the same exact way.
Like what? What happened?
All right, I'll give you an example.
No, no,
There was
no.
a
What
time where
happened? Tell me what happened to you.
yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
No, you said an
This is exactly
example.
what happened.
Tell me what happened to you and not no example.
I am the example, Kev. Just hear me out, man. So I had this dream
Yeah,
where
hold
I
up.
ran
Hold up,
into
sorry.
somebody from my past, the
Go.
person that I went to junior high school with, and it turned out to be a bad event that happened in that dream where somebody actually ended up getting hurt, and that actually happened a month later, man. So that's why I said like
What happened? You
sometimes,
got beat in basketball or something in your dream, and you went to the court and got your ass whooped in real
oh no,
life.
somebody got hurt, bro. Nah, all jokes aside, somebody got hurt. You know what I'm saying? But that happened in my dream. But I thought it was just a dream. You know what I'm saying?
Sir, that's not explaining no time travel. Time travel is imagining you gonna get on live on the air with Kev Gills and you said the most profound shit. You was ready to go, and then in real life it really happened. I mean that's just I don't know if that's time travel or just Preparation, the mind prepping for an event, like Kobe said. You gotta prep
It
in the
definitely
gym.
could be though, dog.
You feel me? But I thought you was gonna come to a
Yeah,
masterful equation like we've been studying here in the quantum physics classroom. You said you was gonna
that's why I
break
said
this
I'm
down. Now I want you
tuned
to look at
into
my
that.
classroom.
I'm learning. I'm
No,
learning
hold
as
up,
I'm
sir.
watching and listening to you,
No,
brother.
you more
I'm not
what?
saying that I know everything that you got in there. What I was saying from my chat is exactly what I just explained to you, which is what you asked me to come up and call you about, and that's what I
I
did,
just
brother.
want to understand your form, your theory pertaining to the quant. I thought you was gonna show the equation because I was having a great conversation, and I see you chatting in the class. So you had a dream, and it really happened in real life,
What they call deja vu, I feel, is you being able to see into the future. That's what I'm talking about.
and it came to you by way of dream.
Exactly. It came
Okay.
to me in my sleep in the form of a dream. That was all. I wasn't trying to get into nothing else that you talking about right now. I was just
I'm talking
explaining
about
what happened
you.
to me
I'm talking about
and
you,
why I
bro.
feel like that could be a form of time travel.
Okay, sir.
That's it.
I just thought
And
you
I'm
had.
always at work,
I
bro.
thought you
I
was.
start
I
my
thought
day
you was
before
having
you
an
too. You feel
equation.
me? So I
I
ain't
thought.
wasting your time, believe me. I'm always
You
at
was
work, bro. I
wasting my
got bills.
motherfucking
I
time,
got
bitch. Shut the fuck up. Press one. That wasn't me. Be quiet, nigga. You trolling ass niggas. That's how y'all gonna end up right there. They ain't me. Press one. Sir, go sit down. They ain't me, bro. That is you. That is you. Sit your goofy ass down playing in my classroom all the time and trying to be a student and at the same yeah, I laugh at your dream, nigga. Press one. We squeeze. Shit, like a bug squat. Oh my goodness. That's why I do this shit before classroom. Before. Don't mess with me before my classroom, bro. Coffee and Kush TV, home room. You on the air? What up?
Good afternoon. I was just curious with the time zone and everything, as far as the different states and time zones that they have, different countries that with everybody being where they was at, certain laws was may have been written and implemented, and through history, a lot of things traveled through like letters and certain things. So at the time, it could have been written at a
What?
certain part
What was
of
written? What are you talking about?
like
What are we talking about here?
the time zone thing. Because in different parts of the state, I think states and countries, it's different times. Like over here, it's
So,
9 o'clock,
I'm
but
we,
somewhere else, it's a different time.
all right. So when?
You get what I'm?
All right. I'm trying to. I'm trying to engage my brain and readjust to now we on time zone and different and where it was written. Where is this written at? So I can make a reference. I got a tablet now. It has Kindle on it. So I need to book. Where is this reference?
I'm not. Maybe I don't. Maybe like 1972. I don't know. A certain time, maybe a certain law or certain um, I don't know, a law, constitution, or something was written somewhere that it needed to get sent somewhere else for a message. Are you following what I'm saying? Or no?
If I would have followed you, what you were saying, I'll be somewhere spinning around in the middle of a desert. Some goddamn hell no, I didn't
Because
follow you
it's
up the street.
because cause it's like because it's like thinking about a time zone machine. I'm not too,
All right, all
that
right,
that's
all right,
more
all right.
something.
There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now we talking. All right. Think of time zones, ladies and gentlemen. All right, everybody stop laughing. Y'all know we goofy as hell in homeroom. All
All
right, everybody stop laughing because the last caller was goofy and you
right,
calling
cool.
in and your shit blending in with his and
So
maybe. All right. Let's think about this. Let's think about this classroom. A time zone machine. Wow.
right.
Okay. Go ahead.
So now, for me, just trying to put it all together, I only seen a time zone machine on Family Matters with Steve Urkel. He went in one as Steve Urkel came out as Jaleel White.
Came out
You
as
get what I'm saying?
Stefan.
So yeah, that. So I thought about that, and I'm like, all right, well, I seen that on TV, Hollywood. You get what I'm saying? All that. So now I'm thinking, how can I put it into reality as far as time zones?
Okay. Okay.
So for for me, I'm like, well, I only know as of what I know now, from not going deep into it, is just there's different time zones within different parts of the countries and like
In
certain
worlds.
states you could
Right.
be in. Yeah. So now I'm like, all right, well, everywhere that our founding fathers could have been at certain different times, certain who was it? Was it King one of the brothers, I forgot the name, but George Washington Gillespie, it's one of the Gillespie brothers who was looking for his brother who
Thomas.
went off somewhere.
Thomas
You follow
Jefferson.
what I'm-
Thomas
Yeah,
Jefferson Gillespie.
right, right. So now, depending on the time zone and all that, the letter, where he was at, you get what I'm saying? By the
Given
time
the
it finally
time.
reached or got to that point, right. So, I mean, I don't know if I'm somewhere close to, what we're asking as far as putting it into the whole time, everything what class is about. But I'm just like, in Hollywood, they play it as going into a time zone machine.
Time
But
warp.
in reality, right. So now on a plane, and I remember like in history, when they passed letters, that there was a letter that was supposed to be given and somebody got struck on a horse. Like, you get what I'm saying? I don't
Right.
know. It was history. I don't follow it all the way, but
Right.
it was just by the time that letter even reached wherever the sender wanted it to get, what time was it? When was it implemented? Because for them people that's living there in that state and now their government or whatever is implementing something that was sent at this time from this area, you get what I'm saying?
And
So, I mean,
that's
I don't know.
that's
I'm
a
still
hell of an
gonna-
observation because let's say the Prussian government is operating at the United Nations on this land at a specific time, but let's think of it this way. Fuck that. In India, time stopped in 1999 or something, 98. They're still in fucking 19 fucking 90 or something. Meaning time is
So-
damn, bro. Go ahead.
Because if they're saying they control time and they done certain things with time as far as putting BC and AD and everything, and we're able to go a couple grandmothers ago, great grandmothers ago.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It's
Right.
just like, we got to think realistically. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, yeah, the stories that they give us, Hollywood, certain things, whatever, that brings our imagination one way. But now as we're breaking down the Bible, the conception, everything you're doing in class and bringing it to the reality of how they control time and what they did with it to where our perspective and the way we may see it, if we're able to draw that perspective to put it with our grandmas and great grandmas and go a little bit further, you get what I'm saying? Then at the
Well,
end of the
we
day,
have
it
to
might
we
make
have
more
to make
sense.
it from the mind into to a solid fact. No choice.
Right, because
To a solid fact. So we take it from
right,
from our minds and make it and begin to understand not just the legalese or the legal language of the land, the sea, but also the scientific, not metaphysical, the scientific. We got to be
Right.
able to break this down
Right.
in the
Because
sciences, as they say the conscious
like
community
you
do, but in the sciences, in this quantum legal language is what
right.
I got
Right.
coming for the classroom,
Cuz
which I
AT
think said for this is the
cuz
beautiful time. Go ahead.
cuz cuz atom, atom.
Go ahead.
All of us are atoms, solid, liquid, and gas.
Facts.
We fart when we full.
Facts.
We physical bodies. And how much percent of our body and our brain is water? You get what I'm
But
saying?
then,
Like we
but then
fill with
again,
water.
but
Like
then at a higher level,
so it's like
that's
we're
at but
atoms in a sense too.
but check this out. But check this out.
Go ahead.
Understanding the quantum level. See, the atom is who can't make that quantum leap. The atom needs the light,
Right.
the
I hear you.
photon.
Right.
See, because atom
That's
by
what you're
itself,
talking
atom by hold up, watch this, King. Atom by itself is what? 666. 6 protons, 6 neutrons. What? Now, that's with no light. That's just black atom. That's with no light. That's with no photon. And in order for him to fly, I'm gonna break this down to the conscious community. You need a photon, nigga. In the religious sense, you need Christ, G. In the legal sense,
That's crazy.
you need a miracle. And that is all done by way of evoking God by the different understandings of the different laws that control the spectrum of the people.
So, right, and that's my whole thing. Because if we understand the LGBTQ, the secret society, everything that's going on with these little groups creating certain laws and how they're able to get them to Congress and certain things, it's just like, yo, if we're able to see how they're creating this.
Well, you're thinking still at the can't jump level. You got to become the jump man and fly, because you got to go to the superior level, which what I just talked about. You got to invoke God,
Right.
the photon, the light.
Right.
You feel me?
100%.
That's going. Now we up in what they call. We there. Since we want to talk allegorical and stuff, you need the light, and the light can save individuals one by one.
100%.
100%. Coffee and Kush TV, KevRow University. You on the air? Thanks, champ. My man. So we can. You got to be able to understand from the allegorical science of it, to the religious aspect of it, to the physical aspect of it, to the even down to what controls you, the maritime aspect of your law. In order to unravel it, nobody can do that but you and your understanding level. So if you want to come to KevRow University and play around and shit like that, that's cool. That's on you. But like the individual just said, like, bruh, or just prove you gotta fly around here. And that's the objective, is to get you to understand the different spectrums / perspectives of the legal language that has you in bondage, in debt bondage, not free. So God is good. You feel me? God wins. That's the conversation right there. That's the conversation right there. You talking about time travel. Bro, nigga, where we just flew to, if I could see it, press 1. I believe I can soar, press 1. You talking about playing. Don't come to this classroom with your physical capability. You trying to hit me, nigga. Stop trying to hit me and hit me, dork. Press 1. Boop, bop, beep, bop, beep, bop. You feel me? Now that's one student out of a bunch of people who love this channel. That's why I love this classroom. Because ain't no telling what you might hear or, Now we laughing and shit, but it ended up being a great conversation. Look, you feel me? I can do that. I'm Kev. I'm the teacher. But don't get it fucked up. You can learn a lot from a lot of people we laugh at or laugh with or whatever the case is. Everybody here at different. Don't get in y'all feelings. He didn't get in his. We laughing like a motherfucker. But guess what? After all that is said and done, a great conversation. God is good. So I'm about to play it. What's the name? And if my computer wouldn't have shut off, I would have already had it up. But right now I'm working towards that. It's understanding the law from an allegorical, we say, imagination perspective, the imagination, the allegorical conception of the mind as it conceives legal matters. Easy. And you write your own mythology after you win some court cases or be able to slice through the tentacles of Kraken if you understood what all that shit is. You feel me, Taj? You feel me? You be able to make sense of the allegorical shit in a legal sense to change Kraken's hold on you. And that's just another imagination or movie-like perspective. I love those. That's why I talk about wrestling a lot. You know, that's why I talk about those things because that's that's when a lot of our imagination was lost, and they began to go, watch this. They began to get off the analog and become digital, and you ain't been same since. Watch out. Now this is what your grandma and them was afraid of and shit. They was telling they kids, which is your fathers, your uncles and shit. But, so God wins want to play around. You can play. You can play all. Press one. You can play all you want. But my history is different. My work ethic is different, son. This is dope. Hold up. Let me pull this up, y'all. I'm having a. All right, there it is. There it is. I got a tablet connected to my broadcasting software now, so I'm able to oh yeah, it's on. I got Billy Carson and shit lined up. Press one.
And so it's a self-preservation thing. People are actually afraid. A lot of people.
Hold up, y'all. Billy Carson be cracking me the shit the fuck up. He got some anti-God perspectives that's no, yeah, I believe in God. I just don't believe in the religious perspective of what God is. I believe God is the Anunnaki Sumerians who returned back from the land of Gregorian. Press one. from the land of Gregorian, bruh. Coffee and Kush TV on the air. What up? Oh, I'm so glad you didn't get a chance to come on here. Hit that like button and subscribe. Oh, I'm so glad. There will be no more disrupting the classroom, sir. There will be no more champagne. Okay, I hope you guys enjoy this. This is going to be good. I'm controlling it from right here. This is my first attempt at controlling this shit from right there. Let me see what they're talking about in the chat room. See, we have a great discussion without all the lame losers calling in and trying to be everybody's friend and think they know everything from the chat room. See? And I gotta weed through. A lot of people be thinking I'm trying to be mean or something. No, y'all gotta understand. These niggas is gonna learn something. Coming up in my classroom, wasting my damn time. Press one. Trying to be my friend and troll me at the same time. Didn't have a mental shutdown talking about, that wasn't me. Nigga, nobody said nothing about that. Press one. You too busy focused on the wrong shit. Press one. And for that, it's a transgression. That's that weird shit I be talking about. Coming up in classroom, playing every day. And guess what, class? Ain't nobody playing but them. Kev Gill's learning technology. Cuz up there learning all type of shit. Press one. He learning how to work his program. Pull up different programs from his tablet that he just bought and talking about. Cuz talking about a tablet, a weak ass tablet. Cuz connected it to his program and shit. That's what they be sounding like, y'all. Nigga Cuz over there learning the technology, cuz we gotta work for Adam 22. My favorite YouTubers work for Vlad and shit. This nigga over here learning all the production shit. That's fun. Teaching, now this nigga teaching and shit. Cuz trying to turn our religion into a legal matter. Cuz know how to dress. Cuz flying around the world and shit. Cuz going all through the fucking country. Like he a star and shit. Cuz just got 10,000, 20,000 viewership. When I tap into their mentality, that's all I hear. Yeah, good. What are you doing right now? Cuz like somebody there buying coffee and shit. This shit was only $3. Why would he post that on Instagram? That's one. Cuz moving like he fucking Nipsey. Cuz just worship Tupac and Nipsey. That's all he listen to. Tupac and Nipsey. I hate both them niggas because I don't like Kev. First one, fuck Kev, fuck Nip, fuck Pac, and anybody down with them niggas. Like, damn, bruh. What happened to you? Press. Them type of neurons and protons and atoms. Press one. Them niggas they can never make the quantum leap because they can't receive the light. Press one. They have a shield, a blockage. You get it now? Now I'm talking in riddle and what they call parable. They have a shield, a blockage, blocking them from receiving the light. Press one. They too busy trying to block everybody else. They don't block they don't block they look at me. Yeah, look at you, bro. Calling that press one. Look. Ain't no sense of you sounding so smart in the chat room yet so detached when you call in. You gonna learn today. You gonna learn today. He thought Kev was just playing up here. Forget Gillespie. Gillespie is a traitor to America. All this, and now look, bro. I just want y'all to see the glimpse of what it take for an individual. Press one. What it take for an individual to just watch and try to participate and change up their swagger a little bit to make it make sense. Make it make sense. We're going quantum. He ain't never heard this type of shit before. So he ain't even gonna know how to understand it or perceive it. Cause he been playing in the classroom the whole time. Press one. Him, Tyron Crockett. Now they ask this one, they don't even know how to perceive it. Hell, D-Jack even know how to think about the shit. Press one. That's what y'all get for playing. Now these niggas is detached and cut off for their lack of understanding the legal aspect. No, are they dumb niggas? No, they just niggas. Press one. That's what niggas do. Play around to where they become disattached from the things that matter the most, like the law and God and stuff. Press one, they don't even know how to perceive it. Press one. Hit the hit that like button and subscribe. KevRow University, Professor Gillespie on the air. What up?
Gillespie is Scottish, is not American, all right?
Yes, sir.
Don't forget that. You're a fraud.
All right, buddy. All right, buddy.
I never no other.
It don't matter. You ain't never, ever, ever, ever gonna see no other nigga like me or nothing. Ever. Ever. That's the whole plan, stupid. I'm glad it doesn't even matter what you think, except I ain't never, ever, 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 ever seen a nigga like Kev. Press one. That's what he was about to say. Press one. I ain't never, ever, ever seen a nigga like you, bro, ever in my career, in my pathetic little measly fucked up life. Press. No, that's that one friend in the hood that still can't believe you changed your life. And you was right there with him, bro. I think I'm gonna change, bro. I'm work on some things, and you feel me? This nigga mad, still in the garage playing video games. Brother, what? No girl to cook up no food, nigga. Just still complaining. Mattress leaning and shit. They gave him the mattress that come out the futon, but they threw the futon away and just kept that little metal piece and stepped that little stack of mattress right there. He still wearing that when he was 15, 16. Press one, grandma and say, your room's still over there. Press one every time he fuck up in life, grandma welcome. Grandma welcome that nigga right. Oh, come on, that's my baby, the biggest fuck up. That's my baby. Come on. I knew you wouldn't go make shit up your life. Come on, put you on my tax paperwork. You gonna put this Balenciaga helmet on. That's when I'm gonna put you in right here. You just play even stupider when we go down here every third week out the month. Woo! Woo! Oh, my heart hurt. Sometimes I forget I'm in science class. First one. Woo! That's them photons fucking him up. First one, you know all this photon? Nigga, quantum on that bitch ass nigga. You see all this photon and truth fucking him up? Press one. That nigga begging to be a friend right now. Why I can't fly with you guys? You got to think like the movie Souls, like quantum analogy. It's the Gillespie algorithm, bro. You got to learn how to fly, nigga. But you can't put makeup on here and pretend. Press one. Nah, bruh. Algorithm never loses, bruh. He gives us the best shows ever. Let me give a shout out to those people who support this broadcast in my Cash App. Wow. Before I get to my beautiful teaching, you are hilarious, sir. You are the perfect example of what not to be here at KevRow University. You just sit in the back of the classroom, mad at everybody else, mad that new students come. Every profile, you expose yourself to be even dumber than the last personality that you have compartmentalized somewhere inside of that useless vessel you call a human body that God has selected you here to come deal with Kev Gill. Press one, you can't win here. Press one, you better go beat up your little brother or something. You can't win here, coward. Hit that like button and subscribe. You mad and shit. Then you have all the fun. Yeah. That's what you could have been too. You could have had all the fun too. You done made me all this comical money. And now it's hitting you. You ain't getting a dime, nigga. Going back to work and work for the now that's the American way. Untapped free labor. Lord have mercy. Untapped free labor. Press by now you could have had a talk show, all type of shit. Had your own audience. Press button, but you so retarded. None of your plans work. You like that motherfucker who always chasing Inspector Gadget. Press one, you be this close. We gonna call you almost, but like we told you. The motherfucker almost, nigga. You all nigga kaplunk. You just dummy, bro. Get back in line, nigga. You retarded. Almost had a friend. This nigga, every character he try to get closer and closer. It's gonna take him another 2 years to gain the fucking trust again. God is good all the time. God is good. I enjoyed this program. God bless y'all. I'm finna put the script on. I hope y'all enjoy. This is going to be very, very, very enlightening. Okay? This is the quantum language of the law. You're watching this program with Professor Gill on a ones and twos. Press 1 on a ones and twos. Pull out your handy dandy notebooks. And don't be afraid to ask questions when I stop the video. You feel me? Now I'm finna eat me something delicious and watch the video with you. I'll be in the comment section. And if you got a question, just let me know when we stop. We're going to stop the video probably every 10 to 15 minutes to get a proper understanding of the linguistics of the quantum language of the law. Woo! That sounds smart, don't it? Where's Sonnet at? He like, this my nigga. He's like watching a movie around this bitch. That's my dog.
We go through 3 stages in life. Your first stage is you do not know what you do not know. No one was aware of syntax until you saw this program. Once you saw it, you were aware of what you did not know, which means you didn't know about the math interface on language. For that fact, for 8,500 years, the entire population of the planet Earth in 5,000 languages did not know about the math interface on syntax until 1988 when I broke the code. And then when you know what you know, you become a teacher and stand up here like I do and educate people. The math to syntax creates the facts on a mathematical level where when you write a sentence frontwards, it says the same thing when you write it backwards. People come to me with Bible passages because everyone wants to know who God is or wants to know what the Bible really says. 1/3 of all the words are missing from the Bible and the Quran and Buddhism and Hinduism and all the great religions in the world. 1/3 of all the words are missing. And so when you can take whatever is written and then go out and put the correct prepositional phrases in now time. Remove the negative because you can't perform negative. Remove the illusion and create a fact. Now, a lawyer would write this like that. The bridge is over the river. And you were all taught when you were in 5th grade in school, never start a sentence with a prepositional phrase and never end a sentence with a prepositional phrase. Well, if you don't end a sentence with a prepositional phrase, you've got a dangling participle verb as an answer, which means your sentence is incomplete. When the government writes their instructions on most of their forms, they don't use adjectives. They only use adverb, verb, adverb, verb, adverb, verb throughout the entire sentence structure. We did not elect a president on November 2nd, 1999. The United States government said that 2/3 of all the states, 38 of the 50, had to recount all their ballots. Now this was just an illusion to keep people watching the ballot counts while the 90 days runs. No law under the Treaty of Versailles, 1906, becomes legal in any federal government and anywhere on planet Earth for 90 days. Add 90 days to November 2nd and you get February 2nd, 2000, at which time President Bush was appointed the next president of the United States of America. Corporation. The democracy of America is dead. It no longer exists. We are a corporation. International bankruptcy has been around for 6,500 years. That's 70 years as an international bankruptcy. It was established by the pharaohs in 4700 BC by the Masons. Pen by itself is a pronoun. If I say the pen, the is an adverb which modifies the verb pen. Modification is change, change is motion, motion is action, action is verb. Okay, now if I say of pen, of is normally the preposition and the is the article. Separated, they both become adverbs. So now you have an adverb of pen, or by pen, or with pen, or over pen, under pen, doesn't matter how you do it. If you separate all the prepositions and all the articles, this is going to become a verb. Now if you use a preposition.
Now, press 1 if you could understand how important the language is at this moment at the university. You would know that it's very important. Press 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some notes, get used to relearning what adjectives are. This is where I want to make this critical analysis. And this statement is, I see why God be having me talk to a bunch of women, because women, you have to embrace this, and you will, because women like to think in imagination and shit. And smart women, I mean, really bright, smart women know what they're hearing. Something that they can figure the fuck out. That's why I always used to think, why all these women like crossword puzzles and shit? You feel me? Little known fact, niggas. Women like crossword puzzles and fucking dumbass newspaper games that we just look at like, bro. So I be clowning, talking about my niggas got ADHD, but really females are like smart as shit, bro. Now why they took the apple and not you, because they fucking got this yearning to know more and more and more, and this is something they can get enough of. Facts, bro. They wouldn't be able, this right here would take 5 generations for women to really put, like, wait a minute, and this is what it is. This is the brilliance of this type of information. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes it from the imagination world and back into the physical. So women that live in the imagination, which is okay. That it's just okay. We all lived in the allegory in the imagination before. So I get it. You know, I'm a bad bitch and all of this illusionary and this one and but in reality, that can, with real information, can cause a different yearning for that. If you place that energy at least 5-10% somewhere else, because that shit is on go. That shit is on go. So learning the language at the row is very important. And women know what adjectives are, nouns, pronouns. It's us fellas who wasn't paying attention. We're too busy hollering at the women who we thought was ignoring us, but really was paying attention to shit. Press 1. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. I thought she didn't. Oh, she was really playing. She was really graduating and shit. You really smart, huh? Press 1. So, fellas, we gotta know what adjectives are and words, and begin to listen to shit in its entirety, word for word, as you do in the rap battles and shit, bar for bar. The block captain is back. Press 1. That same matter, bar for bar, you have to scientifically put that shit together. You know what I'm saying? And the greater you get at it, the more superhuman you become, because you be able to see through or do things that the normal average person, see, I'm teaching you how to be a superhero. Press 1. I'm just that the normal average person couldn't do. A lot of people would probably be able to at just time, given the perspective that they in. You feel me? That's why they probably need you on one accord, because, you know, accord frequency, like we was talking. Never mind, we get to it. Bars. Feel me? Bars, scientific bars. Ain't nobody battling. We're Brother Polite. Where he at? Press, we like the Jay-Z of this shit. Where he at? Hey, yo, where they at? I feel like Cameron. Hey, yo. Where's Yayo? How many Yayo signed? How much albums he's sold? Press one. Damn. We taking it out the allegory and applying it to not the metaphysical. That's the real, you know. So that it's a beautiful time to be alive. So listen to what he's saying. Take what he's saying and we can discuss it. Don't just believe people. Have discussions about it. Like the person said in the chat room. This is like the perfect think tank. It is. Because understanding law is a matter for all people, because that's what it was designed for. It's the only thing protecting us from the dead state, from the corporation, from the bankers who control the corporation, who were purposely trying to run it into the dirt. You got to know how to legally discuss these matters. You may be the next great senator, and you just sitting on your ass drinking a beer or smoking a blunt, and you ain't even got no warrant. You looking at them when you can. Never mind. Let me stop.
Phrase for this pen, for my pen, for your pen, for his pen, for her pen, with his pen. See, every time I change the preposition or change the article, I change the ownership and I change the operation of the pen. If I change the operation of pen, and I can do it 900 times, if I put two nouns together, now I've got 81,000 variables. If I put three words together in a sentence, now I've got 7.2 million variables. I put the fourth word in, I got 640 million variables. I put 5 words in a sentence, I got 5.4 billion variables. And it goes on and on. So the government comes back and says, we can't do that. We don't have a computer that can break the code because the amount of terabytes of information just to write a single document with 300 words, so you'd have 900 to the 300 power. There's no computer in the world that has enough capacity to do that. My brain does it as fast as I can speak. I can syntax and write and do the conversions. The human mind is really unique in its ability to use deductive reasoning and logic to create the correct sentence structure, communication, syntax. And with this level of accuracy, the government said that's impossible. Well, what's the first rule?
Now, what he's calling a syntax is merely the language I've been prepping y'all for this whole time. Did I know that? Nope. I just understand the code that he's talking about. I understand it because I understand quantum. I understand history. With you guys, we begin to understand different laws of the land and different laws of the water. What was done in the past, we learned time is really warped. Like a huge Philadelphia experiment, and we actually know more than the average cat. So that's the main thing. Nobody here is above the grade of the next person sitting next to him. Press 1, because we're always learning, and we're here as a service to help each other. And that's what I'm learning about this whole experience. That's why I've been taking a step back, just really chilling in my mind about, like, damn, it's just about figuring it all out and helping people figure it out for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And helping others figure it out for themselves. So it's up to you, what grade level you choose to be at here at the Row. Shit, you can be a freshman and just graduated yesterday and still got to enroll tomorrow, because now we on the quantum language of the law. You get what I'm saying? So here, even with the students here virtually, you can look at as a scientific classroom or a scientific experiment, quantum, dealing with how many characters or how many atoms or Eves are going to be able to make that quantum leap and become photon rather than just neuron, and rather than just that. Now, I think that's the spiritual side and the higher sense. What they talk about, the Christ consciousness, I think that right there is what they're trying to explain. Is it attaining what the 7%ers call God body, or Godhead, or to the perspective of the all submission into truth and all that good shit that come with those experiences. When men have them, because men have these experiences, they don't say too much about it. You know, so, and we hide behind our own personal mask. But like even right now, me talking about this, I'm wide open. There's no hip hop nigga or nothing, wide open for criticism and all that. We in a world, we in a realm that seems like it's being navigated, right? Like, but it's really just the spirit actually is just on it, it's just running. That's what it is. So understanding the law, the linguistics of it, you're gonna understand the allegory of it, you're gonna begin to understand it all. What you choose to get trapped up, not trapped in, but choose to dabble in, because it is choice, that's on you. You may be raising your chakras over there in the yoga stand and limited to whatever comes with that choice. I don't know. I'm this. You know, and I think allowing people to be themselves, and we all learn something from one another, especially right here at the road. So embrace that.
The law is called knowledge. You don't have knowledge, you can't play in the sandbox. You can't participate.
You hear that? You don't have knowledge, you can't play in the sandbox. You can't play the game. You don't have knowledge, you cannot play the game. You're a mute. You can't talk, you can't speak, you can't do nothing.
You got to have the knowledge to understand what is being said. Dr. Masur,
You gotta have the knowledge to understand what is being said. The words that are being used coming out of my mouth, as Chris Duggar say.
has had 200 trials over the last 13 years. The case is currently running up a bill of $80 million. And I went in there and in 10 minutes I syntaxed day number 1 lawsuit, 2 pages. 186 mistakes on it in syntax. Disqualifies day 1. What happens when you build a foundation on sand? It's going to collapse. If you commit a fraud on day number 1, the other 199 hearings are also fraud because they were predicated on day number 1. And the judge stands up and says, I don't have a pay scale high enough to deal with this. He says, you're not a barrister. You can't represent him. I says, yes, I am. You don't have a 6-year college degree to know what a barrister knows, but a barrister only knows how to read and write an adverb verb. And he's restricted to do that because they have
A what? An adverb verb, or what did he say? What was the sequence? What was the linguistic sequence that's also physics or physical sequence? A plus B. I remember somebody's, damn, this is important. He's applying physics to the physical. The science of quantum physics, he's applying it to the law. He's making sense of it. That's the thing about it. He's making sense of the scientific space. He's taking it out the allegory and the mystery of science and applying it. That's a beautiful thing.
code. No law or fact shall be tried in court. That is their law. That is their oath. Every judge, barrister, lawyer, attorney, worldwide, all countries, all languages swear to this because for 8,500 years, language has been bastardized. It is adverb-verb illusion. So you've got an adverb that's a negative adverb, modifies the verb.
Look,
or
a negative adverb. Look.
a conjunction, back becomes a verb, shall is a pronoun, be is an adverb, making try to be a pastime verb, in is an adverb, modifies the verb court, it's a dangling participle. You've got a verb law, a verb fact, and a verb court. You can only have one jurisdiction in court. It's called the least common denominator. In a math problem, you must always acquire the least common denominator.
Or the square root of the problem. Lord have mercy. It's all commerce. It's all contract. Listen to this.
order to solve the problem. Your least common denominator is 1. You got one jurisdiction under
Your
maritime.
least the common denominator is what? That way, what? And then no jurisdiction. Now, the people who follow my program know exactly what I'm talking about. Hit the like button and subscribe. I'm like they're having brain farts and orgasms all over America right now. I just love intelligent people and people who are able to conceive what's being said.
Law, one jurisdiction under maritime facts, and one jurisdiction under maritime court.
Now, one jurisdiction under maritime fact and one jurisdiction under what? Maritime court. Pay attention.
Verb, which is an illusion. In an illusion, 3 plus 3 equals all numbers in the universe except 6. You can't try 3
Now,
plus...
wait a minute. Hold up. Let's take it back a little bit to get an understanding. Let your brain adapt to what's being said. Right, said?
And I went in there and in 10 minutes I syntaxed day number 1 lawsuit, 2 pages, 186 mistakes on it in syntax. Disqualifies day 1. What happens when you build a foundation on sand? It's going to collapse. If you commit a fraud on day number 1, the other 199 hearings are also fraud because they were predicated on day number 1. And the judge stands up and says, I don't have a pay scale high enough to deal with this. He says, you're not a barrister. You can't represent him. I says, yes, I am. You don't have a 6-year college degree to know what a barrister knows, but a barrister only knows how to read and write an adverb verb. And he's restricted to do that because they have a code. No law or fact shall be tried in court. That is their law. That is their oath. Every judge, barrister, lawyer, attorney, worldwide, all countries, all languages swear to this because for 8,500 years, language has been bastardized. It is adverb-verb illusion. So you've got an adverb that's a negative adverb, modifies the verb, or is a conjunction. Fact becomes a verb. Shall is a pronoun. Be is an adverb, making try to be a past time verb. In is an adverb, modifies the verb court. It's a dangling participle. You've got a verb law, a verb fact, and a verb court. You can only have one jurisdiction in court. It's called the least common denominator. In a math problem, you must always acquire the least common denominator in order to solve the problem. Your least common denominator is 1. You got one jurisdiction under maritime law, one jurisdiction under maritime facts, and one jurisdiction under maritime court called verb, which is an illusion. In an illusion, 3 plus 3 equals all numbers in the universe except 6. You can't try 3 plus 3 equals 6. An act. ACT. All words that start with a vowel, A, E, I, O, and U, are followed by 2 consonants means no contract. You're going to say word.
How many of y'all just felt like y'all was in The Price is Right? Press what? Everything is everything. They've been singing and dancing around us and making a circus of our law this whole time. Press 1. Let's keep learning and enjoying the learning process, which is an unveiling euphoria, aha, in your mind.
I find that rule. Look up every word in the dictionary. Get yourself a nice 8-inch thick Webster's Unabridged dictionary and look up every word that starts with a vowel and 2 consonants. And all the synonyms that reflect that word, and you will find a no contract, a negative condition of state for every single word. ACT means no contract. This is a room. This room has 4 corners. This is a box. In this box, this is an enclosed area. Everything that happens in here has nothing to do with the rest of the world. All the information you learn here today is in a closed area for you people only. So
you can't get boxed in. You can't let them post you up and box you in. And there's no jury. There's nothing there, just prosecutor. And everybody's boxed in but you.
This is a isolated scenario. In 4700 BC, Pharaoh said, "So it is written, so it shall be done." There was a reason for that. Because oral contracts cannot be seen or proven. Because of the argument, you got 2. So if you do, did you hear what I said, what I meant, what I said, when I said, what I meant, what I said? If you don't see it written, you can't prove it. When you write a contract, you go into court, you have a syntax document. You are filing a lawsuit with an accuracy of 1 to 900 for every word. Your correct sentence structure, communication, syntax, balance of the order of operations of cause and effect, a verb of thinking, a possessive of with, and an authorization of by the, gives you an order of operations for every sentence that follows the rules of the operations of a court. So every single sentence is its own independent court as you make an argument. We're not dealing with 150 to 1 variables in an oral conversation, so your paperwork is going to speak for you. Why do you think the government shut the government down in the United States 19 times? Because they got caught in a lie and they didn't know what to do with themselves. They had to go out and study. They have to come up to speed with this thing. Every court in the world has to do this. And when you take English through syntax through this program, and you translate it to Spanish, Spanish to French, French to German, German to Russian, Russian to Indian, Indian to Chinese, Chinese to Japanese, and back to English, you don't lose any words. It's a math problem. Just because there's 5,000 different signs and symbols for things, it's a math problem. And you can't change a math problem. That's the accuracy and the beauty of this technology. It's what you hear, not what's written. Did you hear what I said? What I meant, what I said, what I said, what I meant, what I said. I'm communicating to you. It isn't what's written here. I'm writing to show you how many ways I can write it, to show you the variables. But when I speak it in one terminology, which one of the 150 variables up here that I just say to you, you don't know that.
That's the trickery. That's the trickery in the conversation. And that's how we were beat. That's how we were. It's the technology in the language. They may be talking to you scientifically. You may be signing up to a religion, giving away all your right. You have no idea. Because you don't understand at all.
You don't know that. You're going to make a presumption, opinion, presumption, guess, perjury, a lie. How many different mistakes can you make? And that's only one word, or that's only 3 words. Try doing it with a lawsuit with 30,000 words on it. What do you think your variables are here? You're talking about terabyte to the terabyte power of variables. You can't get to a fact. If you can't have a fact, what are we doing? We're lying to each other. My technology brings us to a position of accuracy that cannot be argued. And the courtroom is a building. That is not the document on the piece of paper. When you write...
Now, I love when people say, in my theory, I ain't been proven wrong. I say, wait a minute. That's a person who believes and when put to use his scientific method. You feel me? That's a person we should be listening to when it comes to understanding at that level of, wow, here's an individual who actually put it to the test.
A lawsuit, the paper that you have. This is the court, folks. As a judge, I swear to support the Constitution of the United States. The United States means 2 or more people coming together in a closed area. Doesn't this have, 4 corners? This is a closed area. It's called paper. It carries the cargo words. The words have terms and definitions. This book not only has a sentence, but every word in this book is defined and has a syntaxed, quantumized definition. Every word is accounted for in this book, including a lot more words. It took Russell and I 6 years, 12,000 hours. We had a team of guys breaking up A, B, C, D, E. And of all the 2 million words in the English language, we got 7.
You see that? And with the internet, we can't let that work go unnoticed without having a thought about it. You feel me? They put that much time before the internet, bro. Before social media. Before this beautiful microphone. Before KevRow. You feel me? So we can learn from everybody, especially when we all got a common hidden so-called agenda that has put us in that despair state of mind when dealing with them, even over minor traffic tickets. Go ahead. I love to play with my traffic ticket on some jurisdiction shit. Sir, I object. Press 1. I'm going to trial. Fuck that. hey, you got to go through the fire to get the solution that you're looking for. You don't fuck around and find. You don't get to find out. One thing about us fellas who grew up riding bicycles and having things blow up and fireworks explode in our face, and that little shit, you go fuck around, you're going to find out. That's not scary to a lot of people who grew up in the 80s. We fucked around. And guess what? We fuck around and we found out big time. You know what I'm saying? So, Lord have mercy. It ain't always a bad thing, fucking around and finding out. Trust me. You fuck around and find out. The finding out process is the solution. Now, I ain't saying jump off a bridge and you're going to find out. What I'm saying is don't be afraid to think to find out.
That's it. Pretty simple. Average person has a 12,000 word vocabulary. You only need 720 to learn syntax. And in 99% of the cases, you use less than 50 different words in an entire lawsuit to win your case.
Wow.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. It's so simple. Once you get it, it's mathematical. But this is the court. This is the contract between you and the judge. The courtroom is irrelevant. The seals that are hanging on the walls are irrelevant. This flag is the correct sentence structure communication syntax flag, which advertises that this is correct. You place a postage stamp up on your corner. You sign across it. That makes you the postmaster transporting the vessel of the document to the clerk of the court, which is the port of the court. She puts her stamp on it. When she puts her stamp on it, you sign your name across her stamp, making you a postmaster of not only your paperwork and your vessel, but now you're in contract with the port authorities of the court, because this is a courthouse, which is a foreign vessel in dry dock, so you've entered a foreign vessel. Now you're the postmaster and clerk of a foreign vessel in dry dock. Now you've got a 24-karat gold bonded document that has to go into court. But if you're going to sign the stamp on the front, you have to also endorse the back of the top of the cover page.
And because you are incompetent, you don't know what a postmaster is. You need them to help you understand. And you're not going to exit out of nothing. You're going to wake up. That's what waking up means. It ain't about no Anunnaki. It ain't about nothing. Waking up means accountability. And you're going to have an account to why you don't know this.
That's called an endorsement. How many of you can cash a check at the bank without endorsing your check?
Come on.
Nobody. Because if you take the document and you roll it up, when you unroll it, the top of the back, when they sealed those scrolls, they would put a seal on it. That was the endorsement. That gave the document its value. And not only that, this book is bonded together. When I went to court in 1997, I used to have 3-ring notebooks with my paperwork in it. I went to testify. The judge says, "What are you doing?" He says, "Well, I'm testifying to my book." He says, "That's all loose paper." He says, "You got to have a bonded book in order to be an author with the authorization to talk about the authority of your authentic document." And it's a document. That's why you get a docket number when the vessel comes to the court and it gets docketed. Staples Maritime Law Staples is not bonded together. However, you put the staple as a mechanical device to hold the papers together and then take super glue, put a drop on it, and the capillary attraction will fuse the papers together. You can have 3 forms of bonding. You can glue it, you can stitch it, and you can rivet it. I sent Janet Reno a letter charging her with treason against the United States, and she sent me back a 2-page letter with
Now,
6
stop.
3/8.
Somebody in the chat room said what? Somebody said what? We must know our rights or lose them. Exactly.
1/8 of an inch brass rivets. There were 6 big, thick brass rivets to hold 2 sheets of paper. She says, "You want bonded documents? Here's a bonded document." You're going to use your navigator stamp. Your navigator stamp has 2 bars through the $sign. Now, you have your $signs come in 2 forms. This is a Federal Reserve note, and that's a gold certificate. In the United States, since 1900, the red fox stamp was the only one that was published with 2 bars through the $sign. And that was published on the 2nd of November, 1999, when the United States ended its 3rd bankruptcy and became sovereign. And then when we went out and bought up all this, my students all over the United States went out immediately and bought up all the red fox stamps. And then we started putting them on all of our documents to sue government officials. The judges ordered that all the red fox stamps be canceled and seized wherever they were in the United States and destroyed. so that they didn't have any gold standard stamps out there. But we've had several thousand of them to use on all of our official documents that we use constantly. They'll put the file stamp. First you get what's called a receive stamp, which means they're going to receive the documents and they're going to issue a summons to come to court. You have to then serve the document on the people and have your return service from the people you're serving a document on, and those have to be attached, return service, back to the court with your lawsuit, and then they will give you a file stamp. And then it goes to the judge for when you're going to have it and scheduled for hearing. The clerk of the court, who is the port authority receiving a vessel at her desk, is supposed to put her initials on that stamp upon receiving it. And at the same time, the one that they keep for their file, you sign your name across that, as well as all those you're going to serve on the other people, making you a postmaster, banker, and judge, because you canceled the stamp. That gives you the authority as a postmaster to transport the vessel of the lawsuit between your home and the port authorities. You take jurisdiction, capture it. As long as you got their stamp, you sign across it, you captured their jurisdiction, you become the clerk of the court. The practical purpose is that you are the individual that's going to be transporting this document. If you don't sign it, you don't become the clerk, and you don't sign your name across the stamp, you've skipped over the postmaster's position to move the vessel. How does it go from point A to point B? Is it magic? You're creating a paper trail of authority. You're the author. You have the authority and postmaster to move that. All judges are postmasters, bankers, and judges. Look up bankers in the Black's Law Dictionary. It says see postmasters and judges. Look up judges, it says postmasters and bankers. Look up bankers, it says postmasters and judges. And judges only issue opinions. The word order, O-R-D, vowel and two consonants, means no contract because he wrote the whole order in adverb verb. It's an illusion. You syntax any judge's orders he gives you. Even if he says you win, here's your win, in adverb verb. You haven't won anything. It's just an illusion. You syntax it and you say, I want to correct one. Write up your own order and syntax and have him sign it. He'll do it. He doesn't want to think. Remember, the reason for thinking is to abolish thinking. Thinking hurts the brain. Thinking hurts the person. That's why we got ditch diggers and punch press operators, because it hurts too much to think. And people that want to think and they become great thinkers, you don't see them doing physical labor because they've learned how not to hurt. Their brain is a curiosity.
You heard them? They learn not to hurt. They learn not to stress their damn selves out about no goddamn $50. What the fuck can we do with a thinking motherfucker? Nothing. He don't even want to. He thinking of a way out. As soon as he get hired, he thinking of a way the fuck out. You feel me?
Machine that just can't get enough. Masonry worldwide goes up to 34 degrees. In Manly Hall's The Secret of All Ages, the amount of information that is in that one book is the accumulation of 8,500 years of history of all the different religions that have taken place throughout history, different cults, Pharisees, illusions that manipulated mankind, the creation of the boogeyman to keep people scared so that they could always look for protection from something. The Masonic codes, no matter what language it was written in, had 1/3 of all the words missing. My technology, through algebra, puts the missing words in and brings it all into now time. It takes all negative out of the language and only brings it into a now time positive. So it allows me all the hidden secrets that are built into all the sentence structure. And so when I get with a group of Masons, they have their agenda of what they believe, but their beliefs were based on adverb-verb illusions. So then it's my job to syntax it and bring it into now time facts and show them what the true meaning of whatever they want. The amount of information is so vast.
We're going to stop it right there. Is that not what Mr. Gillespie have been doing? Upset. Have we not been taking the allegory and the religious and the Freemasonic tier of wisdom and knowledge and taking it out the allegory and the word gods and applying it, because we do know God is in the law. So what a grand time it is to be alive. Why wouldn't we want to know scientifically, metaphorically, physically, all of the different aspects of the law to get a grand perspective as an individual. So that's how important it is. They worked a long time for this. I never watched this. Said sent me this, but I understand exactly where this gentleman is coming from. So it's the right conversation at the right time.
That for me to publish it, it'd be like trying to syntax the Bible or the Quran. I mean, these are huge books with thousands of pages. It would take a lifetime to do it. So based on each individual's needs, on whatever their limited education is based on, I will answer questions on a one-to-one, question-to-question basis and syntax it for you. And I'll do it for anybody at any time. It changes your entire perspective of what truth is or correctness. That means that my technology abridges all the Masons worldwide. The secrets that they think that they have are misinformation. And I don't practice
Bingo, because they're all based on the linguistic scientific pattern that generates the illusion. And they don't want to stop that because the illusion is how they thrive, how they maintain. You see? Of course that. They don't have the freedom of expression of just speaking and getting to. They don't have that. They're worked into position to understand and be accepted somewhere rather than be a free person. A person of who's really dedicated their lives to figuring it all out to better humanity. Those critical thinkers out there who's looking for the same.
Specific religion or faith. I believe in God. I believe in goodness. I maintain my life to be in a correct position. And by being correct about things on a mathematical level, it allows me to talk to audiences that come from thousands of different cultures, definitions, religions, and maintain peace amongst my students. Here's a technology that has to be translated to all 6 billion humans without insulting any faith, political belief, sex, customs. I mean, when you take something that's going to unify an entire planet because it's correct. Remember, no one ever went to war over a math problem, and all 6 billion humans use the same mathematical syntax. But how many different languages? You've got 5,000 different religions, you've got 5,000 different languages, and it keeps everyone divided, called Babel, where...
You hear that? Now look, you built a tower based on a whole bunch of nothing without the correct foundation. And you probably blame God for it. Press 1. Your foundation was every other thing but everything that mattered. How all y'all languages, all y'all math add up, but y'all languages are not adding up. And it creates, like he just said, everybody went to war. Nobody ever went to war over a math problem, but we all got these language barriers and really ready to go there. So that's another scientific, wait a minute, you're right. And this was 10, 15 years ago. And he's right today.
Even though they have all this babble for 8,500 years, they still use the same math problem, and they don't fight over it. So by bringing communication skills down to a math problem, we remove the ability of an individual to lose his temper or maintain an argument. I'm going to define the word God. Everybody goes, how can you take religion? And everyone in this room...
Now say it. Let's be real. That's a hell of a question. Or did they go to war for the algorithm? They went to war for the algorithm. Yes. For the whole, because it's all, again, commerce. The numbers, the time, this one and then that one, it's all dealing with. So yes, great question. And even better answer, yes, final answer. They would have to go to war over an algorithm that wasn't theirs, and that's control over the whole sea, land, all that. That's dealing with, because, again, we're talking the East Indian companies and this one and that one. That's all ran by the same person. But let's get back to it.
As a different faith and talk about religion in a mixed community. There's a thing that we use a triangle to explain this. We all want correctness because this here is your truth. Now, when you believe that you are correct and you have truth, you will make contract. And as you are all taught throughout your entire life, you will always honor those contracts you make. And there you find your God. Okay, now, so what is God? We all want to know who the Creator is. We all want to know what the origin is of our beliefs. Every person in this room has 1,000 independent definitions. You've read books, you've talked with your parents, your friends, your relatives, your church, you've explored your own dreams as who God is. So everyone in this room has independent definitions to fulfill these three terms to come to what this definition is, and it's unique to you and you alone. You can go to any church, and the minister is going to tell you one definition, but then if you ask, what did this man say to me just now? What did the priest say, or the minister, or the rabbi say? You're going to get 100 different definitions of what people heard because they are using their own life experience to do what's called subjective interpretation of what was just said to them. Now, it says in all the religions that God created man in his image. And the synonym of image is imagination, creation, art. And so all the terminologies that you absorb throughout your life are to define one thing.
Hold up. Hold up. Huh? Hold up. Fact check that. But do you understand where he's going? Our whole mindset regarding the thing could be slightly thwarted.
The difference between good, which you classify God in creation, and evil, which is destruction and bad things. You have to learn about bad and you have to learn about good. It's called perspective. So you know the difference between right and wrong. We choose to be good because it's a better form of life. Those that are bad and don't live in our society as bad, we put them in jail and they get penalized. We spend our entire life searching for...
See? This goes all the way back. Bad, go to jail. There was no J back then. Hell, fine. When you go there, when you go to jail and you go to Cook County or New York, what they say? Oh, bro, it's motherfucking noise and screaming all night and fucking... That's... is motherfucking... What was Tupac saying jail was? No fairy tales for this young black males. Some see me stranded in this land of hell, jails and crack sales. Press what? And this is all fucking theoretical. And you got to turn your theoretics on.
One definition of this word, and everyone, all 6 billion humans on planet Earth, have different definitions than the person standing next to them. And it's unique to you and you alone. That's what your faith is. All the stories that I am told as to what this word is defined at, I have never heard two stories the same in all my travels and all the people I've talked with. Your ability to read, understand, subjectively translate information in your mind and come up with a conclusion to be good is what you have to do. You can look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm going to be good. I'm going to be an honorable person.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to love my children, take care of my family, and I'm not going to go out and do evil and hurt people. And that's basically the bottom line of where we are. So who is God? God is the creation of your thoughts and the information you have. Hold a thought in your hand. Show me the three-dimensional object of a thought. Hold God in your hand. Show me the three-dimensional object of your God. It comes from your thought and all the information that you have absorbed. What we're doing here in syntax is we're showing...
Now, do you hear? There will be no more. This is all learning from here on out at KevRow University. Press 1. There's no beef with nobody. Nobody. We starting fresh. So, let's be honest. Do you hear why our Pan-African brothers will believe in thought? Or thought? Or how thought and thought is in language as well? You see how the confusion of it, and they can get you to believe in a religious aspect of a perspective or a way of saying things, which is why I used to say and joke around about how Jabari and them read emojis better than anybody. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a lot smarter than they thought. You got me? You feel me? That's always, I hurt them in their core because they fell for the clown. You feel me? So I really know I affect with my jokes. I said they all believe they how they know them wasn't emojis back then, and y'all just reading emojis and then it made them what the fuck? That's why. Because they are. In different ways of expression. All of this funny talk. And you know, it's funny to me. And it's a blessing to see other people out here who came and passed and still here or wherever. Even like Steve Coakley, when it comes to that type of knowledge and information, that those minds I've came across and being able to embrace that in what y'all see today.
You that the Bible is written in the Quran, in the Jewish Bible, and all of these different communications worldwide are written in adverb verb. They've left the words out. Why do they leave the words out? Because they can control you. So by learning syntax,
they're written, ladies, let's go allegorical. Stay right there. They left the verbs out and left it in the dream state. Now, it's not your fault you believe in the dream state. I'm just here to let you know, little mama, why you in the dream? Why you in the dream state? Why you feel the dream state is so real? Because it is. But yet so far away. Because they ain't told you the complete truth. So you gonna forever wanting that apple in the dream world because it's unattainable. They ain't told you the complete truth. Damn.
you can go back and put the missing words in. In now time, you can remove the prefixes and the suffixes, which are the past and the future, and go to the root words. Then find a root word that means now time information, not the future, not a word that means...
Now look. Let's go back a little bit. Let's go back to the root word and the adjectives. Now listen to how they word this, TJ. Listen.
Of your thoughts and the information you have. Hold a thought in your hand. Show me the three-dimensional object of a thought. Hold God in your hand. Show me the three-dimensional object of your God. It comes from your thought and all the information that you have absorbed. What we're doing here in syntax is we're showing you that the Bible is written in the Quran, in the Jewish Bible, and all of these different communications worldwide are written in adverb verb. They've left the words out. Why do they leave the words out? Because they can control you. So by learning syntax, you can go back and put the missing words in. In now time, you can remove the prefixes and the suffixes, which are the past and the future, and go to the root words. Then find a root word. Jail, and they get penalized. We spend our entire life searching for one definition of this word. And everyone, all 6 billion humans on planet Earth, have different definitions than the person standing next to them. And it's unique to you and you alone. That's what your faith is. All the stories that I am told as to what this word is defined at, I have never heard two stories the same in all my travels and all the people I've talked with. Your ability to read, understand, subjectively translate information in your mind and come up with a conclusion to be good is what you have to do. You can look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm going to be good. I'm going to be an honorable person. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to love my children, take care of my family, and I'm not going to go out and do evil and hurt people. And that's basically the bottom line of where we are. So who is God? God is the creation of your thoughts and the information you have. Hold a thought in your hand. Show me the three-dimensional object of a thought. Hold God in your hand. Show me the three-dimensional object of your God. It comes from your thought and all the information that you have absorbed. What we're doing here in syntax is we're showing you that the Bible is written in the Quran, in the Jewish Bible, and all these different communications worldwide are written in adverb verb. They've left the words out. Why they leave the words out? Because they can control you. So by learning syntax, you can go back and put the missing words in. In now time, you can remove the prefixes and the suffixes, which are the past and the future, and go to the root words. Then find a root word that means now time information, not the future, not a word that means no contract. If you go through any Bible phrase and you see a word that starts with a vowel and two consonants, get a book of synonyms, look up all the synonyms, and go ahead and list those down and put those in, and then put the correct prepositional phrase in front of that word. You will learn how to build a sentence correctly from that phrase. In my books, and I'm...
Stop. Now. This is information that women love right here. And I say to women because women really understood what he was saying, even greater than me. You know, I will have to go to a woman and go right now and say, what the fuck is the adjective again? All of the smarts in my world. What the fuck is a what? So A plus B? Oh shit! I don't know. I didn't know about how important that was to equations and shit like that. And neither did you. Now one time, what do we always say? Now one time we ain't ever used one of them goddamn equations ever. But right now, we need that equation. We need that formula way of thinking.
My website, I have the Lord's Prayer. And the Lord's Prayer has been syntaxed. One of my students stands up and says, I don't like the way you wrote that. I says, good, here's a book on synonyms. Replace any noun you want in the Lord's Prayer with any other synonym that is coordinated with that, and you will create a new Lord's Prayer. And then you got to read it backwards using the opposite preposition. And whether you read it frontwards or back.
Oh, wait a minute. That's why it's written up. Never mind. This man right here, this dude right here, he really cracked the code of what he believes is that. Now, me, I'm help our people apply God and knowing scripture to it. So this should be very interesting what we come up with and what information crosses this path right here on KevRow, at KevRow University. I'm very eager to hear. I feel like that black dude in the Matrix, it's a fucking fine time to be alive, bro.
It will still say the same thing, and you can write 10,000 Lord's Prayers, and they will all say the same thing. Now, you show me a technology that you can write the same thing 10,000 different ways, and it never changes its meaning. Oh. That is unique. Just like you can't change a math problem. It's either right or it's wrong. There's no, well, it's almost there, or it's almost right. You want to get down to the crux of what is correct. That is where you want to be, in a correct position. And that's why this technology scares the courts. Because no law, which is a negative condition, and no fact, is the only thing that gets tried in court. Remember, the sign says no parking. No is an adverb, modifies the verb parking, and they put a box around it, so it's an enclosed area and can't be considered because it was a lie in the first place. And no is a negative condition, so how do you no park? You can't create a negative condition of state. Where's my fact? How can I pay a fine for a no fact? Well, I'm going to use a Federal Reserve note. Re meaning no is serve. So I have a negative condition of payment for a negative condition of violation.
I'm fucking dead. Literally. We're fucking dead. I see why we've been studying this whole time at the row. This whole time at the row, I see why we here. Because look at this shit.
In a negative condition of court, for a negative condition of law. So therefore I have one condition of nothing. So therefore it's voluntary compliance. And to make sure you volunteer to comply with negative, we put a gun to your head and say, choose, right? You all been there and done that. Everybody's got a parking ticket at least once in your life. That's my terminology of finding out what you know about what the difference between good and evil is. There's 5,000 names for God, but there's an infinite amount of ways to subjectively interpret how to get to that belief. The bottom line is you're either good or you're evil, right? You got two choices. It's a plus and minus. There is no gray area. There is no stand in the middle and be zero. I did a theology seminar for 47 ministers from 16 different religions. One man stands up and says, I'm an atheist. And of course, all the other ministers, they do the little hum. Yeah, but in the morning when you wake up, you stand in front of a mirror and you say, I believe in me. I don't believe in anything else in the world. While you're believing in you, do you have specific rules and regulations that you're going to conduct yourself as an atheist? He says, yes. I says, and you go out there to be a good person, aren't you? He says, yes, I am a good person. And you know the difference between good and evil, don't you? As an atheist, he goes, yes, I do. I said, well, guess what? You made a choice between good and evil. You have faith. Your faith may not have a definition that correlates with the other 47 men in here.
Now stop. Now, in our urban sense of how we do things, have you ever heard me say, how you don't know that your God already repented? In linguistics or in the scientific world of where he comes, that's how that will sound. How you know even though you being an atheist, you ain't doing the right thing, fool? You feel me? How you know your rejection was already forgiven? How you don't know this? You just wilding. You just want to be. That's why. Because understanding is a motherfucker, bro. Wisdom and understanding, that's something you want to hold on to right there.
But you have faith just the same, and you make choices. Remember the movie Matrix? When Keanu Reeves, Neo, is in the room with the 100 TVs? The architect is having a conversation with him. And what does Neo say? He says, it's all about choice. And you make choices every day, left or right, up or down, in or out. And you're going to make your choices.
What we just talking about choice, or the slit at the quantum level of the choice being, we were just talking about that yesterday. But that also goes from the 2D to the 3D, left, right, up, down, left, right, boom, boom, do what thou wilt. Choice. Aleister Crowley, you can't make fun of Jay-Z when you've given the same choice. That's a theory that's embedded in the deception that the serpent gave Eve. That's why scriptures say that's why Jesus, we all fall short. And to seek out wisdom and knowledge, because that'll change your whole perspective given the world you were in or in, whatever the case it may be in your life.
Every day to be good or evil. And if you know what syntax is, you can make a mathematical choice. You have better pieces of information to make better decisions to be good. And then if somebody with evil wants to come at you with an illusion called adverb verb, you can say, that's a lie. And I can prove it.
See?
And that's the one thing.
Wait a minute. That ain't true. That's almost like a reprogramming.
That what happened in front of Wasilewski back in 1985. Wasilewski said, you can't prove that I lied to you. You know what? You're right. I can't prove that. He says, I know you're wrong. He says, yes. He says, I'm wrong. He says, but you can't prove it. He says, when you can prove that I'm wrong, he says, I'll give you what you want. And that's what changed everything. And I went out and I found out how to do it correct so I could prove it. We're going to go through the courtroom procedures. Courtroom is divided into 5 different sections.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking right there. Press 1. Ain't you glad you come to KevRow University and want word about the outside world and who was snitching on who and what rap song came out? Press 1. Of all the things and all the possibilities we could have got on the internet and saying, now we make it to the courtroom, time to play ball, family. So since I was already talking about court situation and where you're headed, wouldn't it be smart to have let's say a starting point reference, a reference point to say, well, let's just see how it may be done or may be combated. And then what do you know? This guy falls out of the fucking world of YouTube. Like, hey, listen, I'm such and such, and we've did this, and I think I cracked the code. So, are we back to the future, or did the future just catch up, or in time, how does this play out? We'll get to that later. Conspiracies with Mr. Gillespie tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Channel 54. Press 1 right now, and back to the regularly scheduled program.
People don't even know they're in this elaborate illusion. Some courtrooms only have 2 planes, but you will have a plane. And the judge sits on the top plane. So he is removed, and he's in a box. And he has his flag or his seal on his box, which means he is an independent jurisdiction. He can neither see you, hear you, or have any jurisdiction. He is an actor in black robes. Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 44.1. It's the only place where it is found. It says judge is an actor. The clerk of the courts, however, sits on plane number 1 in most courtrooms. Up until the time I put this presentation up here and blew the secret.
Pause. The judge is a actor. Let's keep going.
On clerks, they then took the clerks off of the same plane as the claimant in the basilee. A basilee is a servant employee of the courtroom, which is your prosecuting attorney, and you are the claimant. Don't call yourself a respondent, because re means no speak. Defendant means no contract. So don't get involved with no contract language. The clerk was then moved off of plane number 1 into its own separate plane. When you take the witness stand, you're going to move yourself from the common, and you're going to put yourself into a box. And in that box, the witness cannot hear evidence or give evidence and cannot produce any testimony. So it's mute argument. The jury box is on a different plane as well. And the jury box, when you look it up in Black's Law Dictionary, says this is an enclosed area that cannot see witnesses or hear testimony. Yep, read it for yourself. It's all been...
Press 1. This is going to be the best year ever. We're going to call this semester the Quantum Leap. Lord have mercy. Can we make science just as interesting as we made history? I believe so.
Published. They're in a box, aren't they? Which is an enclosed area. And therefore, there's no continuance of evidence between the jury, the judge, the claimant, the basilee, or the clerk. The whole thing is all mute. Everybody is talking to nobody. The contracts are written in adverb verb.
Press 1. Ain't nobody talking to nobody. Where is my Morris brothers? All right, y'all doing all this? It's time to come on to KevRow. I think y'all over there making arguments for sure. Press 1. Literally. Where's my Morris brothers at? There is no more beef. It is done. Y'all don't got to tap out or nothing. Press 1. God is good. Just for the sake of argument, it's done, bruh. You know, we could have been to this point, but maybe, like Neil said, maybe you didn't know.
Nothing is being contracted, nothing is being said. And what did I tell you about what is the court? The court is the document. The Constitution are the words on the document. If the Constitution is written in adverb verb, and I swear to support the Constitution of the United States, between 2 people who said nothing about nothing on nothing, in a closed area of nothing, without a postage stamp and without a flag to establish jurisdiction.
Y'all can't imagine Mr. Gillespie up here repeating this for a whole 30 years straight. Whole bunch of nothing about nothing. In an enclosed area about nothing. I know y'all. I know you bet not. Press 1. I know. How do they say in the cowboy? I know like hell. A whole bunch of nothing about nothing. For nothing. By nothing. I know God didn't set up y'all contract that way. To where you came into an understanding, your damn self, that this is a whole bunch of nothing, about nothing, saying nothing, about nothing. And you can take this nothing back to nothingness. You call Disney World. You understand what I'm saying? Okay then, black people.
I've got nothing going in and nothing's coming out. How much money you got? Well, it's $275 an hour to talk, and you have freedom of speech at $275 an hour, and as soon as your money runs out, we will make a decision. We are practicing banking and commerce, and no matter what you think is happening, it never happened. Then you get to file an appeal if you don't like.
Stop it. Stop it. Taj's head just exploded in the back. Press one. The people who got some type of understanding is like, what? Lord have mercy.
But nothing happened. How do you spell appeal? APP, which means no contract. And what does the word appeal means? It means the higher court will forgive the lower court for doing nothing about nothing with nobody and agree with it, unless it is something that will affect public opinion about how the court system operates. Some genocide.
Boom. It's the face at the end of Matrix. What do you want? What do you want? It's the bully, it's the mob mentality. Fuck it. We'll fucking hang you all if you get too close to the truth. What do you want, Neo? Well, peace. Press one. See? What do you want? You never saw the end where all the little sentinels and agents all got together and swarmed this super face of an agent? And collectively was, what do you want? Coffee and Kush TV.
Apartheid case. Then they'll go ahead and they'll make a little bit of noise about it. And everybody knows O.J. Simpson, right? That was a $40 million trial, and it ran for like 9 months. That was a big joke for the simple reason that they had to go ahead and take somebody and do an elaborate advertisement to the world about how our justice system works. That's all that was, just advertisement. And since then we have, 20 or 30 different crime shows on TV that advertise and tell you what's going on. But that's not the real world. It really doesn't happen. Maybe one case out of 1,000 they might take and run a CSI on, but 99% of the time they just fluff it off. They don't have time or money to go ahead and chase it. So it all comes down to who you are, what you know, and what you put on your documents that come into court. I can write on a document, one of my syntax documents, file it into court and put one line in there, I want hot coffee on my table. The courtroom door says no food or beverages. And yet, when I sit down at my table, I will have a pot of hot coffee because I like to drink coffee. And I have a contract that I paid filing fees for to have hot coffee on my table, and that contract says that I'm going to have hot coffee, just to prove a point that that contract has jurisdiction in the court. Try it. I guarantee you'll get it. You say, Your Honor, so what? Court's out of order. I don't have my hot coffee. I put it in my contract. Bailiff, go get this man his hot coffee. It's part of his contract. Do it. You'll have fun. These planes breaks it up and creates the illusion. You can dissolve the planes and dissolve all the boxes by writing it in your document. Your lawsuit says there are no planes in this court. We are on a level playing field. We're going to use syntax language. There is no adverb-verb illusions. And what we say is not 2 + 2 = 4. And you do a disclaimer of that. Or you do, not a disclaimer, you do a claimer. Or closure is the word, closure. All maritime law, under maritime law, all contracts must have closure. Well, when you're in a syntax level of mathematics, believe me, you have a closure. Our documents, because we've had through trial and error, and we're up to 2,200 federal lawsuits in the last 15 years, we are at a level where we take into consideration all these different points of closure that are necessary. When the Supreme Court of Hawaii wanted to sell 1.2 million acres of Hawaiian homelands without lodial title, I was responsible to stop it. So I took the 50-page document that the United States Federal District Court in Honolulu, Hawaii, through the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court judges all went to Washington, D.C. to go up against John Roberts and the 8 Supreme Court judges and argue why they had the right to sell 1.2 million acres of Hawaiian homelands. And I went ahead and I took the 50 pages and I syntaxed them, and there wasn't one legal sentence in the entire 50 pages. It was just written in adverb-verb. And it only took 6 sentences to articulate the fictitious conveyance of language and the damage that was caused because they don't have lodial, L-O-D-I-A-L. Location, D-I is original, A-L is contract. No location, original contract. to sell Hawaiian land. And the post office doesn't have jurisdiction because they never had the correct sentence structure communication syntax on any treaty, trust, or contract with the Hawaiian people since Cook landed there in 1789. That totally wiped out all claims that the United States government has against the Hawaiian people. And so with that information, the United States Supreme Court reprimanded the Supreme Court of Hawaii that you people are illiterate, you can't read and write, and you tried to perpetrate a fraud against us, go home. You don't have allodial title, you can't sell the land. With 6 sentences and a 2-day head start, and I defeated them in 1 page. And if I can do it to the Supreme Court, and they have standing to take a Supreme Court of another court and knock them down, then the language that sets precedents, that syntax has jurisdiction over all fiction. And it does. So you guys have the power and the ability to go out there and use this technology successfully. On the back of my business card is the whole procedure how to prosecute judges and attorneys. It's already written there for you. With those small points of law and the expanded definitions in my book and on my website, you can stop a charging elephant. Just take away his charge card. You know what the second highest paid job outside of brain surgery is? Contract writing. People that can write in contract get paid $500 to $1,000 an hour in syntax. And you know what? 2012 is just around the corner, and we got 400 million people now studying. When we get 51% of the vote, this entire planet is going to have a new shift in dynamics of learning how to read and write in syntax, because sooner or later, not only is this planet going to unify its ability to communicate mathematically in syntax on contracts, but somebody's going to come knocking from another planet. And if we lied to them, they're going to throw a stone on us the size of Texas moving 50,000 miles an hour.
Press 1. Why?
Or we can have a truthful communications with another world.
What would God say? What is your communication method to you to invert God and his people? What would be the identifier? Well, not only their behavior, but their speaking will be nothing but blasphemous, backward, upside down jargon. So as I've been saying, to get closer to God and regain the communication, one must convert and change and repent correctly. I see it. Lord have mercy. That's probably why them fires is going on all in Canada and smoking up everywhere. It's because it may not be a good time. I looked at the sun this morning and it was all red. I said, oh shit, not again. Press button. Oh my goodness. Y'all better be careful. Take it real easy. You know? Get some understanding. Don't be like that clown in my classroom who just come here to press 1. Come here, learn something. Be an alchemist in learning, damn it. And put in what you know to the test. Study to show thyself approved. That's right.
Planet under commerce and be truthful, where they don't look at us as being a lying, cheating threat to their existence. So there is rules and regulations. Don't forget, there are no accidents. No matter where you go, there you are, and wherever you are, that's where you're supposed to be. It takes time, 22 years now, to get to this seminar since syntax was introduced to the world. And I'm the only guy standing up here, and Steve over there now, that are doing seminars worldwide. We're the only 2 guys. But the videotapes and webcasts on Skype and GoToMeeting and radio shows and TV shows are helping promote this on a global basis and making everybody aware. How long did it take for you guys to find out that Michael Jackson died? 15 minutes after he was dead? I mean, YouTube, Google, Yahoo, AOL. I mean, the entire planet, 6 billion people knew about it 15 minutes after he died because he was popular. So the world is becoming very small. Everybody's cell phone rang and said, here's the news. Everybody that was on a computer, no matter what channel you were on, it bleeped in. No matter what channel you were watching on TV, it bleeped in. The whole world knew about it in 15 minutes. Well, syntax is going to be the same thing when it goes pop. One day the TV is going to turn on, and no matter what channel you go to, all 200 channels are going to say, we're going to have a dynamic shift, and you people are going to have to learn syntax because the whole world is shifting communications. We're going to have a one world order of truth, correctness, one world money of correctness. The wars are going to stop. We're going to have balance and prosperity. And we can do it because we're going to be honest and correct. And then you guys can go to bed at night and not worry about somebody dropping a nuke on you tomorrow because you got correctness. And that's what we all want. That's what we're all learning. You've never had the correct sentence structure, communication, syntax, treaty on any land contract or mortgage in the history of this country's writing. It's going to be fixed when enough people are educated and you vote in syntax. See, right now, we're not here to break the system. We're here to educate and correct. When I did this, when I originally said to my mom and dad, I'm going to go out in the world and I'm going to teach this, they said, don't complain about the government because you don't have anything to replace it with. You can't tell somebody he's a liar if you don't have the truth in your hand. I couldn't call Judge Wasilewski a liar because I didn't know what his truth was or what my truth was because I was misled. So I had to go out and spend 1,000 hours to get to where we are today to have a correctness at a mathematical level. You can study, be prepared, learn how to be a writer because when this thing takes place, the government's going to say anybody that can read and write in syntax and do corrections and learn how to program a computer, we have immediate employment for you. Wages are probably going to start at about $100 an hour and up based on how much experience you have. And the whole planet's going to get rewritten. I keep getting emails, when is somebody going to write a program to rewrite the internet that fast? To go from adverb, verb to syntax. Well, like I said.
Press what? You see? Time. Very, very important. Time.
900 variables for one word, 2 is 81,000, and so on. The computers can't do what my brain does. Stephen over there can do it. Russell Gould can do it. Greg Bartell can do it. And 100 other guys up in the United States that I've been trained. They can all do it and do it efficiently. And when you guys learn it, it just opens up your whole world. You can see a lie. You have X-ray vision over everything. And it's a lot of fun. Then nobody can screw around with you anymore. The cops won't stop you. The courts don't want you in there. And there's nothing wrong with a new world order that's correct where nobody can go to war anymore because you all know how to do things correctly. As long as you've got two, you're going to have controversy. So a new world order is not a bad thing provided you have your freedoms to travel, your freedoms to communicate, to write, your faith. It's not going to be any guesswork as to where you stand in that faith because you're going to have a law that protects you with syntax. Having the Masonic teachings is no different than any of the religions in the world to teach you the difference between good and evil, how to manage people. They're the ones who've been pulling the strings on the New World Order.
Now you see that? Man, they be trying. But we already know it was broken down for a reason. Not only do they give up their plans, but they give up the secrets to how they come up with the calculations that we are actually studying. Who created these different alternative thought processes that were contrary? You can't change the source in the original contract. We know that, right, black people? So we know, like Agent Smith, what did he tell Morpheus when he took that headset off? He said, I'm going to be honest with you. Man, I hate this place. I need them damn codes, and I need to get out of here. Press 1. I need them codes. Now, I believe that's what he doing, and that's what they all doing. But in the quest for those codes, which is in your mind, they got to trick you into believing. Now listen to me. We all just need them codes so we can all live in one piece harmony. No, we were living in one piece harmony already. who's already living in one piece damn harmony. Now, if my calculations are correct, he did a lot of explaining to the time shit that we were looking for and how they were able to change and manipulate and warp time, forward time, and a time and a half. So that was great to listen to. And we're gonna listen to a lot more of the quantum because again, we know that they trying to figure out a way out of this situation that they've got themselves involved in, and they cannot because you just won't go to bed. Like Whack 100 say. You put the bleep blood, you won't go to sleep. You won't stay asleep. It's always one of you walking around about to spread some truth and wake everybody up and it's gonna give validity to the others and it's gonna give them it's all mathematically, scientifically true. You have no way out. People are going to wake up. And what you call it? Sim tech? Great. We're going to study that right here so we can remember. Press 1 and study the quantum way of explaining things, of y'all way of communicating. Fucking aliens. Press 1 because this is how they talk. Now, you wouldn't think you can do no shit like that, but a bunch of you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You just afraid. You afraid to organize and be legal. You don't want to clear up the warrants. Hey, Ollie, they let Michael Knight do it right here on my screen from Knight Rider. Yeah, let you do it, bro. You just got to know practice. Practice on like, throw a piece of paper on, do it on a loitering charge or some dumb shit. And learn language. You take something for the team anyway. You used to be a gangbanger. Come on, man. Come on. No, but truth be told, understanding that shit is really eye opening to how they operate and been able to maintain the structure, the mind matrix, rather the real matrix per se. You know, the organic way of living. And they're like a false mom, a false mother country, and a false father country, and false gods and false idols and false this. When we got more of a like a natural, organic experience of how life is supposed to be, like the balance to that. So I'll see that as like the artificial intelligence, everything outside of like soul that doesn't have a like a program. Like soul though. People without a lick of soul in them. Now you don't gotta be black to have soul. I done met a bunch of people. I just posted some Asians with some soul singing songs on my but on some real shit. The aliens, remember I told you I think those are the Asian people? I told you because those are the aliens who understand mathematical equations. That's why I call China Mac a computer head. Press 1 because his brain is a mathematical equation and he knew it. He just dumbed himself down. And I ain't no fool. They don't allow non-computer heads to make it out the fetus in China. So I know you, in order for you to even breathe, nigga, and put a hat on to be cool, you gotta know an algorithmic something, or they would have fed you to the iguanas or something over there. I'm a cold teacher, huh? Nigga, the way they rules is set up over there, nigga, you better be a smart boy being born around this mud. So let's be honest, bro. Let's be honest, family. You know, it's time to give it up because they you ever notice that in China they know more about math and they stay what? 10 steps ahead of your ass. Like they say, technology is always 10 years or 20 years ahead of you. And then they reverse engineer everything. Them niggas can beatbox now. They can break dance. Remember? Them niggas can hip hop. The old people, they be hula hooping and shit. Press button. Nigga. They got everything. They always getting busted on the news. Like we get busted for our shit. They get busted for reverse engineering corporation products. Them niggas will sell you a Sony Macintosh with an Apple on that bitch and everything. And that shit it was made in Taiwan. Some goddamn where. And how you get these? Look like the real thing, huh? Cause I got these off the ports. Bro, how the fuck? We rob liquor stores. How you get a whole container? Did y'all rob a train? No, before the train. Where's one? Before the train. Fucking criminals. We always on the news. Nigga before the train. What's before train? The port. Man, my cousin, my grandfather, he works at the port. Press one. It's like some Master Splinter shit. But no, on truth be told, fam, understanding it all. Remember I told you, where y'all running to? Oh, man, I want to get out the Matrix. No, bruh. You are the Matrix, fool. You about to tell on somebody right now if nobody was looking. Yeah, he over there selling drugs. Your ass is a potential reagent. Press one. And if you study quantum physics, you should know what a reagent, that's a motherfucker on standby. Wait, like this. Do something. That one right there, I get paid. Like Charleston White, I get paid $5,000 for niggas like you. What? He's a reagent. A reagent, people who have this high probability of telling. So, I'll give you the interpretation. Don't tell nobody because this is our classroom. Press one. So this stays here with us, not the outside world. This is only for our class. But let's take a person like Andrew Tate, who just got finished talking about the Matrix. Press one. Now we know Andrew Tate is more like Cyrus from the Matrix. Press one. Now Cyrus from the Matrix is a nigga who always was complaining, trying to blend in with us folk, who really trying to find a mathematical. Now his ass look dumb up there like this, huh? Because the Matrix is over here trying to get me and stop me from breaking the mold of feminized boys. Well, that shit sounds stupid now. I told you, fuck with me. I told you I was gonna break the quantum, they hold quantum hold on you. Man, fuck them. Ain't gonna do nothing. Soon as they pulled his weak ass behind them walls, nigga. Y'all was over there thinking he wasn't gonna hump shit. He was over there just like what I say.
Do we have
Cyrus.
a deal, Mr. Reagan?
You know, I know this steak doesn't exist. I know that when I put it in my mouth,
Press one.
the Matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy and delicious. After 9 years, you know what I realize? Ignorance is bliss.
There's the cord.
Then we have a deal.
You ain't got a deal.
I don't want to remember nothing.
He don't remember shit.
Nothing.
Nothing.
You understand? I don't want to be rich.
I want to be a YouTuber. Bugattis.
Someone important. Like an actor.
Whatever you want, Mr. Reagan.
Okay. You get my body back in a power plant. Reinsert me into the Matrix. I'll get you what you want.
Access codes to the Zion mainframe.
No, I told you I don't know them.
He's not the real top G.
I can get you the man who does.
Morpheus.
Press one. He's not the real top G. I'm trying to tell you. Now he charging $30, $30,000. Now I'm trying to tell you, he's a reagent, a reactivated. And we're in the 4D. Press one. We're in the spiritual. You got to be able to see that. You got to be able to see him. He finna tell on somebody. He about to tell on somebody. They told on him. He about to tell on everybody. Melanie King, just pearly things. Everybody telling on everybody. Everybody changing their content, dethroning each other. Fresh and Fit is over there. Press one. We gonna talk about this later on. Coffee and Kush late night with the road. Fresh and Fit over there became KKK. DJ Academics had a live show and only 10 people came. Press one. And everything isn't what it cracked up to be on the internet. And I'm trying to tell you, they're almost out of here. They're almost out of here. Mike TV begging, asking his few subscribers, what should he talk about next? He's ran out of bullshit. Everything is fucked. Nothing outlasts knowledge and wisdom. It's just it's the constant. They shit is like up, down, left, right, all over the damn place. So too many variables. We are always keeping the same pace, one person at a time. Shout out to the people who support this broadcast right here in the Cash App. Got to say my thanks to these people because without y'all, we would have had a show, but we wouldn't have had no shout out list. Shout out to my man Waterworld 454. For Gillespie algorithm makes sense of blockchain technology. Press one. You see, Waterworld is pressing one in my emails and in my Cash App. Taj is in the building. He said, for participate, I'm at work. You can't participate, Taj. Rafa Simmons says, I appreciate your lessons, Professor. Shout out to Rafa for that big $30 contribution to the program. Darius Coopwood for Pythagorean theorem, whatever, in law today. Whatever, Coop, whatever. Betty Hampton, Jason Harris, Cedric Jefferson. Shout out to y'all in the program. We're going to play more of these videos and discuss the quantum law and the adjectives and the pronouns coming up. But this is, again, we just flying over pages and just getting everybody comfortable. Shout out to y'all people. I'll see y'all later on at tonight or later on tonight when I do my program Coffee and Kush TV right here on Channel 54. School's out. And as